We're back at home. The Sox, after an off day yesterday, continue this 6-game homestand with the first of 3 against the Kansas City Royals out of the AL Central. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. And if we asked you who has the best batting average in baseball since June the 1st, the answer would be Omar Narvaez of the Sox.
Somewhat surprising. Omar's really hitting everything in sight. He's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. He's actually getting a couple of triples. But when you look at the batting average, you realize that there's been nobody better. And that includes Mike Trout and everybody else in the American League. Omar's been that good. Plus, now that he's pulling the ball, he's hitting it with authority. It's going out of the ballpark. And he's got 4 of those this year. So when you take a look at 391, you'd have to say for yourself, over the last couple of months, he's been absolutely brilliant. Hopefully more of that continues. He is starting the ball game tonight. And if Omar continues to hit well, along with Kevin Smith, it's given the Sox really good production behind the plate.
This is the last day of July, but it feels like we're going back to one of the last days of March. It's an opening day rematch on the mound tonight.
Nice to see these two veterans going head-to-head. Danny Duffy usually has a good time through the first part of the lineup and then runs into a speed bump. Last time out against Detroit, he ran into a speed bump almost from the beginning as they terrorized him. Duffy 8-6 against our Sox. He has seen him a couple times this year. Matt Davidson goes down looking. That's a good fastball to Adam Engel. Duffy's got very good stuff. James Shields also has done a very good job career-wise against the Kansas City Royals. But last time out against the Angels, he wasn't all that good as Ohtani takes him out of the ballpark, and James had some problems early. He's also seen the Royals a couple times this year. He's 2-0. But that 9-2 record lifetime, he's dominated a team he used to pitch for. And hopefully tonight more of the same as the Sox start a 3-game series. And as you can see, both of them have seen the other team this year. Neither team did a great deal during the trade deadline period, but they both divested themselves of a player or two. There's still enough players, however, to play this one.
Well, a lot of players have gone different places, though, today in the American League Central. We'll tell you about that. And the last couple of days in this division, a lot of teams look different as you get the grill fired up for game number 1 against Kansas City. Deadline talk after this.
White Sox baseball.
Well, the trade fires are burning here at Guaranteed Rate Field. It is the final day before the waiver deadline situation kicks in. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone back along with you, and a couple of teams in the division made some trades of note. The Twins started with Lance Lynn the other day to the Yankees, but today Brian Dozier leaves and goes to the Dodgers, who are suddenly very dangerous.
I think this whole division probably is in a rebuilding phase, including Cleveland, because Cleveland's going to lose Brantley. He's a free agent. They're probably going to lose Allen. He's a free agent. Andrew Miller, a free agent. So next year, it looks like there's a whole lot of rebuilding to be done in the Central. This year, few teams helped themselves, but when you take a look, you'd have to say that Atlanta helped themselves, and certainly the Dodgers helped themselves with Dozier and, of course, Manny Machado.
Well, you look at what the Indians did. They were relatively quiet. Leonis Martin goes over, and he has been fairly good offensively. He'll add to their outfield mix.
Well, they certainly have had their problems in the outfield, so they needed somebody out there. Martin can go get him. He can also throw the ball very well, so that's a guy that they probably needed for a little bit of an insurance policy, and he goes over there and they get him. So there's not a whole lot of action around all of baseball, but we saw some late trades today.
Yeah, certainly. Right at the wire, a couple of trades came through. We'll tell you about more of them as the day goes on, as the Sox and Royals get together for game number 1 of 3 here at Guaranteed Rate Field. First pitch from James Shields is on the way. Internet and best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call or visit an Xfinity store today. We thank you for joining us tonight as the Sox return home after an off day yesterday. James Shields brings them out to the field, and we thank you for stopping by wherever you may be, whether it's over dinner you're watching, at a family gathering, at poker night, wherever you might be. Thanks for being here. As Shields will face this lineup for Kansas City, written out by Ned Yost. Whit Merrifield, the most valuable Royal this year, followed by Gordon, then Perez, Duda, Herrera, Bonifacio, Ryan O'Hearn in his debut, Phillips over from Milwaukee, and Mondesi batting 9th.
Let's take a look at the defense. And now Ricky Renteria is going to put them out there this evening. It's Leary Garcia, Adam Engel, and Avaseo Garcia. Left to right in the outfield with Yolmer, Tim, Yohan, and Jose in the infield. Omar Narvaez and his red-hot bat behind the plate tonight. And James Shields on the hill looking for his 5th win of the year. His ERA a touch above 4.5. There you look at the rest of the numbers. Opponent's batting average, .239. That's actually pretty good. That is what he's going to feature this evening. Four-seam fastball is going to be 28% of the time. He likes his cutter, the curveball he's been using more of, and the changeup is always good. The umpires for the game this evening: Ted Barrett has the plate, Will Little's at first, Ben May at second, and Lance Barksdale is at third. Ned Yost, in the same situation as Ricky Renteria, is seeing a team that is going to need a rebuild. Kansas City a little late to the party as far as that's concerned. They tried to go for it last year, made a couple of trades at the trading deadline, didn't work out for them. So when you take a look around, you realize there's going to be a whole lot of changes to this lineup next year, and most of the guys we get used to seeing, especially from that championship team, are gone to other places, the latest being Mike Moustakas. Ricky Renteria and Don Cooper in the middle of the rebuild for the Sox. They've seen some positive strides on a few of these players. The Sox probably, out of all the teams going to rebuild, they're probably far ahead of the other clubs at this point. I think, Jason, you'd say at this point that the division is not going to be a loaded division next year.
You kind of get that feeling, don't you? Everybody's trading their guys in order to reload. Especially today, you see Dozier going away, Lance Lynn off the Twins roster, Eduardo Escobar as well, and Kansas City has made some deals too that we will touch on throughout this series, including Moustakas, who is no longer here, and he's off in Milwaukee with the other former Royals. Speaking of, James Shields, start number 395 in his career. 400 is a milestone that he had in his crosshairs before the season started, and he is on his way there. First pitch hunting, it's popped up. Whit Merrifield out to Abreu, one gone.
That's a good way to start it. First ball fastball, one pitch, one out.
A 27 pitch shutout is what he's on pace for.
That would be pretty good.
Pretty quick.
I think after a couple, though, you'd probably see a guy take a pitch or two.
You think maybe?
Yeah.
It's a game of adjustments, as you like to say.
It is that. And here's a guy who's trying his best to adjust, but it has not worked out since he signed his new contract with Kansas City. Alex Gordon with one more year to go on the current contract.
He takes a strike. Kansas City comes in at 32-73. 5 games behind the Sox for 4th place in the American League Central for Ned Yost. James throws that changeup about 30% of the time to left-handed batters this year, which is top 10 in baseball.
Well, he's got a good one, and he likes to use it. He's got good command of it.
Downstairs for a swing and a miss. 1-2 on Gordon.
James likes to throw Gordon a lot of off-speed pitches. There you see the shift.
Anti-hydration, and then the 1-2 is just off the plate. 2-2. So James Shields, last time out was the rare non-quality start for him. 4 innings against the Angels. We showed you Ohtani's blast. Gordon to right field, down the line toward the corner it goes, and this ball is foul. A souvenir. It may not show up in the box score, but it will show up in that young person's heart.
Pretty excited guy going down to thank the woman for giving him that quality baseball.
That was a good thank you.
Very nice.
Very thoughtful. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gordon. 34 years old, Alex Gordon. And he takes down and out 3 balls and 2 strikes. Since 2007 in the majors with Kansas City. He played in 151 games that year. Payoff is there for strike 3. Gordon didn't know where it would end up, and Shields sent it right over the edge.
Well, he was looking anything but a fastball, and he got a fastball right there. I mean, right on the corner. Perfect pitch, hit Omar's glove, and Alex Gordon just got outguessed.
Some of those seasons he put up in the early 2010s were just outstanding. 3 straight All-Star years for Gordon, but the offense, as you said, has taken a downturn, and really a dramatic one. I mean, an OPS in the mid 600s compared to the 800s in his best seasons.
You know, he got hurt a few different years, and you wonder just how much those injuries took away from him, because we know it's a game of attrition. We know the game is going to take something away from you. You're going to play long. You're going to get hurt, and you can't really quantify just exactly what it is the game will take from you. But in the case of Gordon, when you look at the numbers, I mean, he was so very good for a long time. And then seemingly when he signed his new contract, the injuries just seemed to take hold, and that batting average has been in the 230s.
Right field, Avisail Garcia. Without number 3, Perez is done, and the Sox will bat in the bottom of the first. James Shields having a little bit of a laugh. Danny Duffy, we'll see if his night is a laughing matter after this. Garcia and Abreu. Avi with 8 home runs in his last 19. Davidson, who's worn out the Royals. Moncada, Angles, Sanchez, Narvaez.
Let's take a look at the defense and how Ned Yost is going to put them out there with Gordon, Phillips, and Bonifacio left to right. Herrera, Mondesi, Merrifield, and Duda in the infield. Salvi Perez has got the plate, and Danny Duffy on the hill. Duffy with a good curveball, throwing a whole lot of sliders these days. His ERA up at 4.70. There you see the rest of the numbers. 113 strikeouts, so that's good. The whip is not all that good, and the 4-seam fastball. The majority of his repertoire is right there.
That breaking ball you're talking about, Cal Eldred, a couple of starts ago, saw it in the bullpen as Anderson interrupts any discussion of a breaking ball by whacking a fastball to right.
He continues to hurt left-hand starting pitchers. Speaking on a first ball fastball, taking it through the right side, and a promising way to start.
Duffy was tinkering with that breaking ball in the bullpen, and Cal Eldred said, look, why don't you throw that more? And he has, and he's had very good success with it the last 5 starts or so.
I don't really understand why he hadn't been using it, because it's been a good pitch for a long time, but guys just decide they want to go away from a certain pitch. In this case, it was the curveball for a while.
So Leury Garcia, who has been big-time trouble for the Royals this year, as Tim Anderson trying to build on those 21 steals, his career high. Tim's been on 21 for a while.
Well, look, it's a question of, number one, you just don't get on base as often as you'd like, and number two, when you do get on, either have somebody in front of you, that happens sometimes, or you get a pitcher with a very good move and you haven't quite read it yet. So you're not running quite as often as you did before. But when he does run, he's got a good percentage.
Well, Tim went on that streak of steals in early July. He had 4 straight games with a stolen base, and since then he's gone without one. And now the left-hander on the mound certainly doesn't present as inviting of an opportunity as it could.
unless you're reading it and you go on first move. There's a lot of guys that will read a pitcher very well. They decide they're going to go on first move, and if the pitcher throws behind them, they're going to get picked off. It's as simple as that.
There's a strike, low portion of the zone, called by Ted Barrett, 3-2. Sox had that massive comeback Saturday night to score 6 runs late and torpedo the Blue Jays, and Toronto returned the favor on Sunday. Tim runs, that's strike 3, and the throw to second apprehends him.
Tim did not get a very good jump because you're thinking that Leary's going to make some contact or take ball 4. It was neither, and Salvi comes up firing. It's there in plenty of time. Now he's looking back right away. Again, that's not your typical stolen base lead. That's one where you want to stay in motion in case there's a ground ball. There wasn't. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Getting pretty close to hooking around that tag.
Yeah, and Tim didn't say anything, so you got to figure he felt the tag was on before he got to the bag.
Looked like he was trying to one-handedly reenact that figurine that's coming up with the head-first slide. Bobblehead on the way in a couple of weeks. Daniel Polka trying to clean him up after the slide. Jose takes a ball low. Abreu, the Sox All-Star this year. 16 home runs. He'd have to get hot now to hit that doubles mark of Albert Bell from 20 years ago. 48, the team record. 29 to his name so far. There's a Tim Anderson bobblehead right behind the plate. Hammered foul. Hold that thought for 1 second.
Okay,
Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com, you were saying.
It's going to be very interesting to watch Herrera at third base, seeing as this is his first start at third base. So we'll see how the hands are, because he's going to find out really quickly. The ball gets to him in a hurry.
Left side and through, past Mondesi. Second hit of the inning for the Sox.
Jose's starting to hit it very well, and this is a breaking ball that doesn't do a great deal of breaking. It's kind of hung outside, and Jose stays right with it, takes it back up the middle. Mondesi can't get to it, and the inning continues.
Abisail Garcia. He's got 11 hits in 33 tries against Duffy in his career. Makes sense. Avi's hit left-handed pitching very well. Good fastball hitter.
And if Duffy doesn't get that curveball over the plate, it becomes a little easier to hit him.
To first base, and Duda dives on it. That's a big guy going down to the ground to take away a possible hit, and the inning's over.
The second inning is brought to you by Dunkin' Go-Tos. Double deals made for go-getters.
Lucas Duda leads off here in the second inning. He was the guy that made opening day look like it was not going to be terribly marvelous for the Sox, along with the weather. But it was a 3-run homer in the first inning against Shields. The Royals were up big, and then the Sox came rampaging back in that game.
That was when all was snowy. Snowy, chilly. It was a very good series. Matter of fact, Sox left with a whole lot of momentum leaving Kansas City.
At 2-0. Then the Easter Sunday game was not played, let's say. It was a winter wonderland.
But the winter wonderland was yet to come.
Anyway, that March and April was nonsense,
Yeah,
weather-wise.
Not great. Minnesota was not great.
We're still remitting the payment for that Minnesota series.
Got a couple more left.
Bonus twins.
Yep.
Triplets.
There'll be a few twins not there.
Yeah.
They didn't make it past the trade deadline.
Strike 3. Shields using the moving fastball for a couple of punch outs.
That's what happened when you face a team a lot, and James has faced his former team a whole lot. They're looking for certain pitches. James deciding, you know what? As long as they're looking for the off-speed stuff, might as well jump on them early with a couple of fastballs. And he surprised both Duda and Gordon. Left them looking with fastballs.
Now Rosell Herrera, who we see for the first time in Kansas City colors after he came over from Cincinnati on a waiver claim. Alcides Escobar out of the lineup. He's not been playing as much.
Right. They got to figure out what they're going to do next year.
Oh, 2 on Herrera. You figure with that swing, Shields might go right back there.
I think another straight change would probably just about end it. Because Herrera doesn't know how James is going to set him up. So you might as well just go for it, and here it is.
He laid off. He really wanted to swing.
Yeah, it looked like he was just about poised and ready to let it go, and then took it at the last instant.
James knew what he wanted. 1-2. He went downstairs again off speed for strike 3. He threw it again and got the swing he wanted.
Another straight change, and when you haven't seen the straight change and Herrera hasn't, it's something that you can tell him it's coming, you still won't hit it. So rather than try to set him up with something, he hasn't seen him, so he might as well go with what he considers his best, and that is a straight change. He completely mesmerized Herrera.
We've talked about it before, but very similar to what he did with Kyle Tucker in Houston. Shields versus young players right now. There is an early at-bat advantage to the veteran.
There's no doubt. Especially when you haven't seen one of his best pitches.
On the ground at first, Jose wins the race. 6 up, 6 down for James Shields. Bottom 2, no score. Davidson leads it off.
Information sponsored by UI Health, providing expert care for you and your family. UI Health, changing medicine for good. Learn more at uihealth.care.
Game 1 of 3 against Kansas City. Matt Davidson, who has been lethal to the Royals this year. He is anti-monarchy.
He has not treated the Royals particularly well.
So here's his slugging percentage by zone against Kansas City.
Suppose you think that's good.
4,000, 2,000, 1,250. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Don't pitch him inside. Don't pitch him away. It's a pretty good hack. 1-1. Last time Kansas City was in, Matt didn't play in game number 1. Now here today, he is in the lineup against the left-hander with Polka on the bench, Delmonico in reserve as well, and Kevin Smith. Fastball high, 1-2. You can see what Duffy's plan is against Matt.
He certainly doesn't want to keep it thigh high. He saw a few of those, and exactly what happens to him, he doesn't want to find out.
Another high fastball fouled away.
At that time did a good job of staying alive because that was a wipeout high fastball. Was able to get a piece of it.
That is the margin pitchers play on. If that's just a couple of inches lower, who knows? The low portion of the strike zone is lonely right now. 5 pitches all elevated. 2-2. Breaking ball away, 3-2.
He doesn't have a good feel for that curveball yet. Jose took a curveball and took it back up the middle. He's hung a couple of them, so it hasn't come to him yet. Ducks are hoping to do a little damage before it does.
Off the plate, ball 4. Davidson finds his way on with a walk. New Bleachers and Brews dates have been announced. Get 1 bleacher seat and 2 beers for just $22. You got to be 21 and over with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews, presented by Budweiser. Visit whitesox.com/brews. Still time for fun at the ballpark. 2 months left in this season, and we hope very good weather all the way throughout. And a chance to bring the kids out before school starts in earnest.
And some really wonderful series left. Yankees are here for 3. Cleveland is here for 3. Boston is here for 4. The Angels are here. The Cubs are here for 3, and Cleveland is back. So Cleveland's here for 6 games.
Sox are going to have a lot to say about Cleveland's final record. And coming into play, they still have not fully shaken Minnesota. I know it's a different Minnesota team. They're not likely to hang around, but Cleveland has not really put that away as yet. Check swing, no go. Two and 1. Moncada takes a little bit low, so Duffy fighting his control. He's near the zone, but not in the zone enough for Ted Barrett. 3-1.
Well, now he's going to see a fastball. Let's see if it's hittable.
It was in the zone, just about middle.
Got his fastball right down the middle and fouled it back.
Minnesota and Cleveland, by the way, are playing tonight. It's Trevor Bauer versus Kyle Gibson. And no score into the 2nd inning. Fastball for strike 3, 1 gone. And here at the ballpark tonight, it is Bulls night. And some trophies have stopped by. There are 6 of them. They are beautiful. They're very beautiful and shiny. Jabari Parker trying to win 1 more of those. And he will join us here in the booth in the top of the 3rd. Hometown guy coming back on a couple-year deal. We'll hear from him very shortly. We got a chance to chat with Gene Honda before the game.
Gene's going to mention his name a few times this year. More than a few times.
Gene's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy, is right. Hardest working man in show business.
And he is in show business.
There's no doubt.
So Adam Engel, of all opponents for Danny Duffy, maybe has had the most success of anybody. He's 6 for 12 with 4 extra base hits, 3 triples against Danny Duffy.
That's pretty good. And yet he picks Adam Engel as the first guy that he throws his curveball and gets it over the plate. There is a souvenir, well used.
How many hands does she have?
5, like most good moms.
That's very true. Fastball for strike 3, 2 gone. It's like that whose line is it anyway game where the one person uses their body and the other person puts their hands in from behind and they have to.
You got to be ready.
Gotta be.
You never know where the next kid's coming from.
Wasn't exactly what I was thinking. You have to be ready for, but
you got to be ready.
Okay.
Never know when they're going to want your snack.
Sanchez takes ball number 1. Danny Duffy, who was 5'4" and threw 70 miles an hour early on in his high school career, has become a very good starter for Kansas City as this ball flies into left and down. Davidson holds up at second. Sanchez with a base hit, the 3rd Sox single.
Gilmer gets just enough of that to drop it in front of Gordon in left field. Didn't get it well, but got it well enough.
So it's up to Omar, who we showed you in our open has the best American League batting average the last couple of months. Salvi had a joke that he just had to tell Danny Duffy.
Yeah, they were joking about the signs they want to use with the man at second. Usually it's uproariously funny.
Oh yeah, knock knock.
Yeah, second sign after 2 or third sign after I touch my shin guard or whatever the case may be. It could be anything. But the fact that Omar is playing against a tough lefty, this is a good sign that Ricky Renteria would like to see him. The fact he hasn't been overmatched against any of the lefties. This will be a tough battle for him.
With his penchant, though, for going the opposite way, if Duffy leaves a curveball that leaks out over the outside corner, he could be in trouble. Breaking ball away, 1-1.
That's his slider, which he started to throw a lot more than the curve. The curve is probably the better of the 2 pitches. He thought the slider was by far the better of the 2 pitches up until just recently.
Check swing. Omar actually asked for the appeal, and he got rung up.
I was going to say, that's not really anything. I mean, he's used to doing that because he's a catcher, but the last thing you want is to ask for the appeal to Lance Barksdale.
Catcher reflexes.
Yeah.
You can't stop it.
Yeah,
did
that's
I?
Right. I did. You're right.
Come on.
Well, so why did I ask for that? He's thinking to himself. I asked for that.
Should have asked the other guy.
Yeah, he called it. Unbelievable.
Omar was legitimately shocked that he was rung up on that. The life of a catcher. There's a curveball fouled away.
And a fan made a great catch, brought his glove, was sitting by himself, and the ball just sliced to him, and he caught it very easily. Nice play. It's a ringing endorsement to bring your glove to the park. Or, if you don't, Mom will help you.
That's what moms are for.
Exactly right.
Fastball lights him up. Duffy strikes out all 3 he got outs from in this inning. Jabari Parker, one of the newest Bulls, will join us after this.
That white, that black is something like a dream, because playing here, you always dreamed about being a Bull. So that's a dream come true.
And he is here with us, Jabari Parker. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
So how's the dream right now? You've signed, you're here. What's it feel like to actually be wearing these colors?
It feels real comfortable. You know, it's because it's my comfort zone. I'm here from the city. I'm here watching the White Sox, so no better way to spend my summer than Chicago.
So you were born in '95, so you were pretty young when all the titles got won. What do the Bulls mean to you?
Bulls mean a big deal to me, just because it's part of my culture, my heritage. Us as basketball players from the city, we love the Bulls from the get-go.
How many games did you go to as a kid, do you think?
As a kid overall, probably between 20 and 30.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite Bulls player growing up?
Favorite was Ben Gordon and Derrick Rose.
How about that?
Yeah.
You are young. My goodness.
What do you aspire to as far as your career? What haven't you accomplished that you'd like to accomplish here in Chicago?
Well, I haven't accomplished a lot. You know, I want to be able to play a season where I'm productive and also be in a playoff series where I'm utilizing the way I want to.
Which is how?
Just being out there, contributing, and being that player I know I can.
What do you think of Lowry Markkanen after watching him a little bit?
Yeah, I enjoy his talent. Always fun to see tall players with such versatile skill set.
Who are you most excited to play with this year, right now?
Not sure. Kind of look forward to looking at all the young guys, right? Like they're my age range, get a time to spend off the court just as much as on the court. So I think we have a lot in common.
You're going to start in September. How long does it take you before you feel like you're actually in game shape?
Game shape, it'll take all in the preseason for a lot of guys to get a feel, to get a rhythm of the game, and probably mid-October.
Joined by Jabari Parker here, one of the newest Chicago Bulls, as Garcia is back on this ball for route number 2. You've dealt with some injury stuff in the past. How are you now, and what's that like rehabbing?
It's a long process rehabbing, but it just builds you mentally. And for myself, I'm able to be that spokesman for a kid who's going through the same issues. So I'm just glad it happened to me, because I want to have that personal experience when it comes to people in those struggles.
What's your favorite Chicago food?
Probably go with the pizza.
Yeah?
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
You a deep dish guy or what?
Yeah. I go from deep dish and a thin crust every now and then.
What do you put on your pizza?
I'm a simple man. I just like cheese.
Simple guy.
Simple man.
Not a piece of sausage every now and then? Got to have some of that. No?
Yeah, it depends on how I feel. I get the meat lovers at Giordano's.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about something.
All right, now that you're playing in Chicago, best road city other than Chicago in the NBA?
Other than Chicago, place that I like to go to is New York City.
Why?
Just because I can blend in. I can be somebody without being somebody.
Why? What do you mean by that? That's interesting.
Just because everybody blends in. Everyone takes the subway. Everybody walks. Everybody takes a taxi. So everyone's the same. Yeah.
That's neat. I've never heard it described like that before. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, what's your plan for this season for you? Your best case scenario for this year is what?
Best case scenario is just be over 500.
Yep.
Great, good relationships with my teammates and my coaches, and that's all I can do.
We look forward to seeing you. Jabari Parker, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Go Sox.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
No score, bottom 3.
The 97999 and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card. Subway, so much sandwich.
So much person. Jabari Parker is a very tall individual.
He's a very large man.
Southside guy, loves the Sox, glad to be here at the ball game tonight, and we're glad to have him along as the Bulls try to reload this year. Right up the middle, off of Duffy. Herrera's got a shot at this thing, and that one goes 1-5-3.
And I think Danny Duffy's very fortunate. He was able to get the glove up, the deflection right to Herrera. So if it's going to deflect anywhere, this is a nice place to deflect to. That's another curveball. Tim stays right with it. It hits off the glove. And it's a 1-5. And 3 across the diamond.
Bang zoom Herrera. Ample eye black.
I would say that the moon is not going to get in his eyes.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Strike one to Leori Garcia, facing the left-hander Danny Duffy. A little less eye black there. There's a hook for strike 2.
Now the curveball is starting to break a little bit for Danny Duffy.
Against left-handers, Leori Garcia is number 3 in the American League, batting average-wise, behind Castellanos and Lindor. And then Merrifield 4th. Don't bring left-handed pitchers to your AL Central party. They won't have a good time.
There's a lot of right-hand hitters in the Central.
Struck him out. Garcia took the bat for a ride. 5th strikeout for Danny Duffy. Experience White Sox baseball in style with our new premium business bundle. Sample our all-inclusive guaranteed rate club, Magellan Scout seats, and Diamond Suites for one great price. 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/bundle today. Especially when you go in for the first time, any of those 3 places, you'll walk out and you'll say, I should do that more. That's a good way to have fun at the baseball game.
Oh, there's no doubt.
A lot of food, be ready to eat, have a drink or 2.
That's a good thing. Meantime, Duffy's curveball has started to break. That's usually not a good sign for the opposition. So did it surprise you that Bryce Harper remained untraded?
No. Last night, Mark Feinsand had reported that Harper was available, but everyone's available.
I mean, I was going to say, available is a relative term.
Yeah,
available for what? You can cash out your whole franchise and get him, or?
Right, send us your stadium and you can have Bryce Harper. Yeah. I just didn't, and I know that the words emanating from the Nationals camp were, well, if we struggle against the Marlins over the weekend, then we'll sell. But they're 5.5 back, and there are 2 young teams ahead of them.
Yeah,
there's too much at play there.
I didn't think it was a very real possibility, but you know, when the rumors start to fly.
And that is going to be a base for Jose. It got far enough away, and now it's mailed to first. Abreu's on strikeout number 6, and we'll see if this starts to unravel Duffy.
Well, the curveball has gotten better and better as it's moved along, and this was a dandy that Perez can't stop. He tries to backhand it, which is never a good thing, but Salvi's been doing a whole lot of that as the legs maybe aren't quite as strong as they once were, and the backhand didn't work, and Jose's aboard. It is a wild pitch and a strikeout.
Jose a romp to first. Salvi didn't have a shot at him. And now Avi. Again, we've seen this version of Danny Duffy before. We've seen the massive strikeouts early, and then at some point it's either a downturn or he carries it all the way through. But for the most part, second, third time through, the Sox have solved him.
Third time through usually is the case, and we'll see what happens here this evening.
Now that's a Major League Baseball trend that second and third time through the hitters start to gain an advantage. However, we've seen it more dramatically with Duffy in the past. Pumped foul right side, 1-2. Yeah, the Nationals open play 5.5 back in the East. And again, with two teams that have not gotten the feeling of the postseason ahead of them, you would imagine there's an advantage there. How much, you don't know.
Right. Well, they were a little unhappy that they're 52 and 53 heading into play tonight, but the records don't really matter. It depends on who's leading your division, and there you see the division. You have Philadelphia and Atlanta. As Jason told you, they are two very young, inexperienced teams, but good teams nonetheless, and playing good baseball. And you would think any type of run in Washington would be right there.
Yeah, to call them young is not to take anything away from those two teams. It's just to say that if the Nationals feel like they have an advantage, it would be that in this situation. Duffy really wanted that curveball a couple of pitches ago and didn't get the call. Broken bat to shortstop, and Mondesi claims out number 3. Fourth inning coming up. We are scoreless.
Not sure exactly what Tampa Bay was thinking, but they got Tommy Pham. They're 21 games back. Wilson Ramos, traded to Philadelphia, really going to help their catching. He's a pretty good one. And Chris Archer, that was a surprising deal. Tampa Bay talked about trading Archer for a great deal of time. The asking price was very high. Apparently Pittsburgh paid it, and Pittsburgh thinks they've got a shot. So you'd have to say for them, that was a pretty good trade.
Yeah, they're in it. They've played some of the best baseball in the majors over the past month or so, and maybe there is a shot that they make it a 3-team race in the Central.
I think they're probably thinking that way as things have gotten a whole lot better for them. They've won 7 of their last 10. They find themselves 7 games back entering play here tonight.
They're up 4-3 right now in the top of the 7th on the Cubs. Avi on the move into foul territory at the railing, and that is foul.
The little wind there is carried that ball into the seats.
I thought Avi was just going to hang out for a while. He sat on the railing,
making himself very comfortable.
The wind is apparent but not plentiful. One. James Shields 9 up, 9 down so far. By the way, we were talking about the Nationals. They have a tiny lead on the Mets tonight. It's 19-0 in the 5th. So that'll be fun.
By the way, Toyota, let's go places.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I missed it.
Into right center field. We interrupt late taglines on parade. And time now for Sox Math, brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional deals. Games in this series multiplied by home games the Sox played in July, including tonight. Divided by games on the next road trip, and then add the number of strikeouts Nick Madrigal had in Kannapolis entering tonight. Sox first round pick, number 4 overall.
Just when I say visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional deals?
I already did the tag.
So the tagline is superfluous?
Is what?
Something along those lines.
Superfluous?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
That's when a fairy who's leaving the room does something extra. Superfluous. Alex Gordon takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Meantime, 10 in a row retired by James Shields. So a team he always pitches well against, that is the Kansas City Ball Club. He's 9-2 coming in. He's got him well in hand here tonight.
Check swing. Did he hold up? Yes. So Alex Gordon, left-handed bat. Here's where he typically hits the ball. That's why Sanchez is in the green zone. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Moncada in the red zone, which is for unloading only.
That's it.
Two one. Well, sometimes you win the lottery.
He got it in the 3% zone and the first hit of the ball game.
The shift beater from Alex Gordon.
This is occasionally what happens, and it doesn't happen often, but this is a breaking ball away. Stayed out of the zone, and Alex hit it off the end of the bat. Just kind of serves it into left field.
That's the type of play which leads pitchers like Jake Arrieta earlier this year to say that they don't like the shift because of the way they want to pitch the guy. That plays into maybe a base hit showing up when you quote unquote shouldn't have had it happen. Now that said, the pitchers all know where the shift is, so you can pitch to the shift as well.
Yeah. One of the guys you don't have to worry about shifting too much is Salvi Perez, because he will swing at everything. Here's a man with 11 walks this year. 330 at bats, 11 walks.
That is not many.
$15 double plays he's grounded into. That is a very high total.
On the corner, 0-2.
You don't have to throw Salvi anything resembling a strike in this at bat from this point on. He's pretty much going to be hacking.
A couple of sliders away, and you think it's pretty much over.
Curveball down, slider down, anything out of the zone down. It's going to be very effective.
There it is, strike 3. 2 gone.
Five strikeouts for James. Good curveball. And away goes Perez.
Brings up Lucas Duda, former Met among others. Southern California guy. You wouldn't imagine Gordon would be running here.
Well, there's probably been worse plans. James has not given up much of anything. Gordon has 4 stolen bases, so he doesn't run often.
James Shields, who was discussed as a possible trade candidate, the non-waiver deadline has passed, but that does not mean contenders wouldn't make a trade for a starting pitcher, as we saw the Astros really force feed themselves into the championship last year after the deadline with Justin Verlander coming over.
There are certain guys that you just know they're not going to clear waivers. There's other guys that will definitely clear waivers, and you're going to be able to trade. James is probably falling into the latter category as opposed to the former category.
It's a combination of contract and situation.
Age of the player, certainly the contract is a huge factor in that. But you're always surprised how many guys they do sneak through waivers and they make August trades.
On the ground, and that should be it. Moncada to Abreu, and the inning's over. Shields gives up his first hit, but no runs. Still zeros on the board. No score, bottom four. Thanks for joining us tonight. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Our entire crew thanks you for being a part of our evening here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Sox and Royals, game 1 of 3. And Danny Duffy, no runs allowed. A hook for ball 1 to Matt Davidson. On base percentage still at .329. Matt seeing a lot of pitches throughout this season. Took a 7-pitch walk in the second inning. And yeah, the batting average isn't where he's wanted it, and the home runs have not maintained from the pace from early this year, but he has kept up his type of at bat he's providing throughout the season.
Well, it's really hard to maintain the kind of pace he was on early.
A bloop into right. And that's a hit, getting by Bonifacio. Davidson into second base. It's a leadoff double.
He was on pace to hit 500 home runs this year, and that certainly would be a record. But when you have the kind of start he had in Kansas City, you got to figure you're going to get a little cool. And this one floated into right field. Bonifacio coming on to make the catch. He can't do it, and for him, what's worse is he can't block it after he dives well in front of it. There was no chance to make that play. So in a 0-0 game, you got to play that into a single. You can't play it into 2 bases.
Yeah, you're really in much better shape if that's a single. Moncada takes a strike. Yoan struck out on 6 pitches in the second inning.
Would help if Yoan went any way to get it to right field.
like that. Down the line into foul territory, and no play for Bonifacio. Here's your Sox Math answer for tonight, presented by Audi. Your winner is Mike Ganella. 3 games in this series times 9 home games in July only, divided by 3, leaves you with 9, plus 0 strikeouts for Nick Madrigal in Kannapolis entering tonight. They were rained out tonight. The Sox first-round pick this year, 40 at-bats in Kannapolis as Moncada goes down swinging. 40 at-bats in Kannapolis. He's got 15 hits. He still hasn't struck out.
Well, he struck out only 7 times all year, so you figure that's a man that knows a little something about contact, and you don't expect that he'd come into pro ball and set the league on its ear, but that's exactly what he's doing.
Research continues to show, and it seems like this is the case as much across the board as anything can be, that a good eye at the plate will carry over from level to level. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. If you know the strike zone, you're going to know it regardless. It's just that the stuff gets better as you move along. So when the stuff gets better, you're liable to expand your zone because things will look more like strikes to you. But for Nick, it hasn't worked out that way to this point. Again, it's very early in his career, and we'll see how he does moving up. But it's great that he has that kind of command of the strike zone as such a young player.
Yeah, you get excited to see somebody who was known as exactly that player. Like, that's the reason you draft him, in part, and he comes out of the chute and does that very thing. Two and one. Into center field, down for a hit. Davidson stops at third. Engel continues to torment Danny Duffy, and runners at the corners for Sanchez.
Matt had to read if that one was indeed going to fall, and Phillips couldn't get to it, so he had to hold up, not wanting to run into a double play. So runners at the corners, and just 1 out. Chance to break through here in the 4th inning.
They'll play the infield in, and now Salvador Perez trying to figure out the defensive signs here. Now they're going to back off with Merrifield at second base. Sanchez is a predominantly ground ball hitter, and so Kansas City is going to play for the double play in the middle. A little bit inside, 2-0 on Sanchez with Narvaez looming.
That step off and throw is a tough way to do it, but if you perfected that, it's a very good move, and he almost got Engel leaning.
Now 3 balls and no strikes. Last 5 games on the road, lowest ERA in a 5-start span all time. Danny Duffy ahead of the very tall Rich Gale. James Shields on that list as well as Yolmer takes ball 4. Duffy missed with 4 straight, and they're loaded for Narvaez. But Danny Duffy has been untouchable on the road. Last 32 innings, 1 earned run.
Pretty amazing. That will be put to the test right here because he's got a red hot hitter who he cut down on strikes last time, but now that he's seen the breaking ball and just how his fastball is moving, should be a better at bat for Omar.
It was the fastball that struck him out in the 2nd inning. One of 7 strikeouts for Danny Duffy. Pitch number 70. Breaks high. Davidson, Engel, Sanchez. Omar with a triple and a home run on Sunday. What's the encore? 95 upstairs, 1 and 2.
That's one of the few that you'll see that he really expanded his strike zone. You very rarely see that from Omar. He's got a good command of the zone, and that time he just expanded it upstairs by a wide margin.
Fastball again.
I would think he'd keep it upstairs again.
He did, and Omar flipped it foul.
Nice way to fight it off, because that was a tough pitch to stay alive. Now you got to go to the hook. You'll see what Perez wants, but you would think it would be forthcoming.
Sped up the bat with a couple of fastballs.
Yeah, he did that. Only thing is, you got to be ready to smother anything down. Duffy has 12 wild pitches this year. 12.
One got Abreu on in the third. And pinging to the backstop. On the ground, third base. Herrera comes home to get one. The peg to first is also in time.
Well, Omar wants him to take a look at it. He's not convinced that they actually got him. And Ricky also wants him to just wait. Hold on 1 second there. Let us take one look, and we shall see.
I thought real time he got him, but we'll see. No.
No, he's safe.
This should be a very quick review.
You would think so.
All right, so it'll be bases loaded, 2 out, you would imagine. Take a look. Where's the ball in the pocket of the glove? Does it make it there before Omar hits the bag? And the answer is a very distinct no. It's clearly not in the glove, and that's a frame later than Omar initially hit the bag.
Yeah, no, this inning is going to continue. And Tim Anderson, who's hit the ball hard twice, is going to have his opportunity to hit it hard again.
Yeah, he has stung 2 baseballs, one off of Duffy and one for a single to right. This honestly, this is one of those where it should be put the headset on, he's safe, go. So, Sox with a couple hits in this inning, a walk from Sanchez as well. Bases loaded, 2 out is what we expect the answer is going to be. And here come our umpires to let us know that Omar is safe. Hustle plays there for Omar to keep the inning alive. So it's up to Tim. Third time he's seeing Danny Duffy tonight. Sox with 5 hits so far. Trying to bankroll James Shields to a lead. He has been outstanding tonight. Fouled away. It's kind of surprising. 2 for 19 with the bases loaded for Tim.
Things will get substantially better, especially if those loaded bases come with a left-hander on the mound.
In with a fastball close. Tim Anderson, now a Chicago resident through and through, living in the suburbs for the offseason for the first time. Checks his swing on a ball up. Yeah, it's become very clear that Tim loves it here. He loves the people here. He's very invested in the community with the programs he and his wife are doing.
It's a
long-term deal.
Great place to be a professional athlete in
Isn't
this
it?
city. Yes, it's really wonderful.
2-1. It's fouled back. A lot of strikeouts comes with a cost. 7 punch-outs. Danny Duffy had 80 pitches here in the fourth. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fastball fouled off.
Tried to get a little something more on it. Got it to 95, but couldn't get it by him.
Breaking ball hit well. Phillips in center, retreating, and he just gets there. Tim has destructed 3 baseballs tonight and just missed a huge hit in this game. But the newcomer for Kansas City, Phillips, tracks it down near the warning track and keeps the score silent. We are professional grade. Last night, Eloy Jimenez 2 for 2 with a solo home run and a base hit, and here is one of those. It's the home run.
It's way back. It's up.
To left field, pull side. We've seen opposite field home runs. That one goes to left. Jimenez tonight is 0 for 4. And also Dylan Cease yesterday, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs for the Birmingham Barons in Double-A. And there's that breaking ball we've heard a lot about.
He's got a good overhand hook, great velocity, but the secondary stuff is what makes him special.
Madrigal last night 1 for 4 with a single for Kannapolis, and Michael Kopech this evening for AAA Charlotte with another very nice start. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts.
Just keep the walks down. The rest of his game is very strong.
The home runs were on solo homers tonight, so
that's fine.
Yeah, you take that.
Exactly right. Don't walk anybody, you can give up some home runs.
Sox general manager Rick Hahn, by the way, has he's become a very common Twitter meme in some ways, because people are making tweets where it says guys are checking boxes, because Rick had said something like checking boxes. So everybody's using a box being checked on Twitter to talk about when Jimenez is coming up, when Kopech is coming up, and all that. And I was sad to say, I was listening to the press conference. I'm sad to know that because they're having so much fun with it, Rick Hahn actually never said in the press conference checking boxes. He referenced a checklist, but he never actually asked for boxes to be checked.
Well, that's good because we won't check the boxes then.
No box checking?
No.
Huh. Fun with Twitter, right? You say something even approximating.
Yeah.
Something that looks like an emoji and it becomes a thing. But the point being, there are things that the Sox want to see going into this year before guys get to the major leagues. And that's team prerogative. As there's ball 2 on Bonifacio.
He got out of there in a hurry as that one sailed up and in.
Now that said, I think you and I are both very excited to see Kopech, Jimenez, and all the guys.
Whenever they get here.
Yeah.
Whenever it is.
They will be here. That's the plan.
That is the plan. I don't think you can keep them out.
That's the key. I mean, you look at what Jimenez is doing, and Rick Hahn's mentioned it before. You force it. You make the team really think every day about calling you up.
Yeah, there is no quadruple A.
It's true.
He's in triple A and he's torturing some pitchers, so we'll see him.
Three balls and a strike on Bonifacio. He went around. Didn't want to, but he did.
Good sharp breaking slider, and his eyes registered fastball. He went out to get it, then it just disappeared and he couldn't check it up.
Three and two. Line foul, third base side. Sox fans, join us Thursday, August 2nd as the Sox take on the Royals, 1:10 p.m. First 10,000 fans get a free Hawk Harrelson themed t-shirt presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. Get your tickets at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. That's this Thursday, August the 2nd. The 1:10 start as Shields throws his first walk in tonight's game. Have you ever become a meme?
Not yet.
You're not a meme?
No. What do I have to do? Go to meme school?
Say something approximating something about checking boxes, and I think that's...
Oh, no, not yet. Soon, though. As soon as the Mets come back in this game, they're losing 19-1.
Well, they are coming back.
Yeah.
They're on a 1-0 run.
They are.
Ball 1 to O'Hearn, making his major league debut. He was with Omaha in Middle America, 232 average, 391 slugging for the Storm Chasers. He used to be the Omaha Royals, and then they met Tom Skilling. Got very passionate about the weather. Hit well, right field. Garcia toward the wall. This ball is out of here. And we have seen enough of that the past couple of years. The firsts. O'Hearn with a 2-run shot.
First home run, first runs batted in. He hit the ball very hard the first time up in the third inning, and that time he didn't get it all, but got enough of it as he takes it out of the ballpark, giving Kansas City the lead.
Bullpen very excited for him. Kansas City, first runs tonight. Oh, Moncada upstairs into the attic.
Yoan with a very nice play. Well-timed top of his leap. He robs Phillips, who was bidding for a base hit. And Moncada with something to say about it. This is perfect timing. He's up as high as he can get. and he keeps it out of right field.
You could smile about that one.
Routine, just a routine play.
Great reaction. Mondesi did stab at that bunt, strike one. So now the Royals are trying to get that ball for O'Hearn. The negotiation is underway. You talk to your people, I'll talk to myself.
Yeah, look, I've got a sore hand because of this ball, so it's got to be worth a little bit more than the normal ball.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But there should be a trade
Absolutely.
that can be made for a first career hit and home run.
I don't doubt that for a minute.
I feel like that would be an area of expertise for you.
Negotiating on getting keepsakes and things?
Yeah.
I will give him your card.
Seems like an area of less ability for me. Huh. Sign ball. Okay, the bullpen's got a ball. They're passing it around. See how many signatures it's going to take for that guy to be okay with it. You all sign this and maybe we'll make a deal. Hey, Sparkman, sign this thing. Hey, we got to get O'Hearn's ball.
That'd be great if the guy went down and said, look, I'll take you 3, but I don't want you 2. You over there without the beard, I'll take you, but I'm not sure about the other guy.
Can you get me Moustakas?
Really? Send this to Milwaukee.
Breaking ball fouled. That is awesome. I wonder if that was his idea, if he asked for that, or the bullpen said, look, this guy's driving a hard bargain.
What do we got here? What can we do for him?
It's a Kansas City Royals bullpen prize shelf in action. Slow curveball fouled off. They'll pass it along. And all right, we got a deal.
Let's see if this works. He's got 2 baseballs,
yeah.
So, you know, 2 for the price of 1. You would think that that might get it done.
We got a deal?
That's it.
We got a deal, a handshake agreement. And strike 3 ends the inning. Shields fans Mondesi. O'Hearn will get his ball. The Royals have the lead.
Presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media because Nationwide is on your side.
Garcia first here in the 5th. And he goes after the first pitch. Merrifield made the call very loudly. Duda is larger, and so he has the ball. That's how that works. Sox fans, join us as the Sox take on the Royals August 18th, 6:10 p.m. First 20,000 fans get a Tim Anderson bobblehead presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Get started today at rate.com. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com. I have a question for our Twitter folks.
Sure.
And I'd like to know your answer, too.
I won't give it to you.
Thank you. I'll just figure out through telepathy. So we just watched that guy barter with the Royals bullpen.
Yes, he did.
To get something out of the first home run ever for Ryan O'Hearn. If you were to have a first ever hit, not like a Barry Bonds record-breaking home run, but a first ever hit, what would it take for you to give up the ball? What's your minimum deal? Mondesi has an arm. 2 down.
One quality Vienna beef hot dog.
You trade a first ever hit for a dog?
Sure.
On Dollar Hot Dog Wednesday?
Well, I didn't get a hit my first year, so I needed a couple of hot dogs. I couldn't trade it for anything. I did get 4 hits my second year, so I could have had 4 hot dogs. Because I don't think I have any of the baseballs.
James Boson is first in with his Twitter response. He says money.
Money? Nah.
Do we have that on tape?
Yeah.
That was your response to money?
Oh, sure.
You've changed.
Well, I mean, how much can they possibly give you for one hit of
so
some
it's not,
sort or another?
It's not money being the issue. It's that there wouldn't be enough money.
No.
On the intake
But
portion of the program.
But a good hot dog. Now we're talking.
Curveball, 2-0.
Yes.
You'd rather have a hot dog than money. You know you can buy hot dogs with money.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a real good hot dog with a nice firm casing and a little snap to it with ballpark mustard.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one is past Herrera, and Avi's on.
Well, that one went with a lot of topspin. He played it off to the side, and that ball on the hop just ate him up and went into left field. So I would assume it's a base hit. He moved to the side, which is not recommended, and that one, instead of hitting him in the chest, went out into left field. 106 miles an hour on the exit velocity, so he felt discretion was a better part of valor, and this is his first start at third base.
A little dodgeball for Herrera, who did play a little bit of it in the minors, but never here in the big leagues, as Davidson takes a strike. Markski44 tweets in, if I catch that home run, I start with Sal Perez's game-used jersey on the trade. And Daniel Hermosillo tweets in, nothing. I would give it to him out of the kindness of my heart.
There you go. Now that's what we're talking about.
That's the gamut there. Also, if Daniel's in your poker club, congratulations. I raise, I fold. You're too nice of a guy. Popped it up. Mondesi charges. And that'll do it for the 5th inning. Duffy trades a hit for the end of the inning. 2-0 Kansas City.
The 6th inning is brought to you by Meyer, true Chicago fans.
Mike Meyer?
Like a son to me.
Whit Merrifield takes strike one. Some folks are a little surprised to see Merrifield still in Kansas City colors with the deadline passing. A highly thought of second baseman who's been their most productive player this year. The fly ball to right.
Well, look, they've got some very good young players coming up, and they got a couple of guys to play the middle infield. But I think what's going through the mind of Dayton Moore, if in fact he decides that he wants to move Merrifield, they believe that they can get much more for him in the wintertime than they can at the trade deadline, because he's a good player. He's a very good player, and a lot of teams would love to have him, but he might not be the single guy to put you over the top. Consequently, you wouldn't spend quite as much as when you're building your team, where he fits in really nicely for what you want to do over a full season. To me, the value is much greater if you take him to the wintertime, and I think that's probably what Dayton is thinking about, unless you want to use him as a guy you build around, because he's a good player who understands how to play the game.
The only issue would be that he got to the majors on the older side. He's 29 years old now. But without knowing him, without having him on your team, when you compare him to your second baseman, Merrifield, when you compare him to somebody in the race, you might say, like you said, he's not the splash guy. He gets you incrementally better every month. Line drive. Tim is not that tall. Alex Gordon swinging it well tonight. Sox fans, come watch the Sox take on the Indians Friday, August 10th. Stay for the postgame fireworks presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. Get your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. The pennant races are coming through this ballpark in the second half of this season. Final couple of months, you're going to have division leaders in this park as the opposition.
Well, certainly that race in the East is going to be really entertaining, and between Boston and the Yankees, they both come through, with the Yankees for 3 and Boston for 4. Coming into play tonight, Yankees 6 games in back of the Red Sox. Red Sox have won 4 games in a row. They are losing the ball game tonight, the top of the 8th to Philadelphia, 2-1. That game is in Boston.
Do they have any relievers left after last night? They went 13 innings. The Phillies have played 16 and 13 now in the last 10 days.
There you see the standings, and you realize that although Boston has not put it away yet, it's a 2-team race. And New York did what they could do to try to get themselves right back in the middle of the race. They were very active at the trade deadline. And they had a lot of very good young players. They traded away a lot of very good young players over the course of the last 2 years.
Jay Happ, Zach Britton, among other moves. Lance Lynn. That was an interesting one. Perez went down to the count again, and Shields erases him. 2 gone here in the 6th.
Good soft breaking ball, unlike the last time when he struck him out swinging. He struck him out on a hard curveball. This was a soft curveball, and the end result is the same. I think Lance Lynn is just an insurance policy for the Yankees, because I think they probably have a starting rotation they're happy with now, but Lynn is the insurance policy. Somebody goes down, maybe the knee of Sabathia or something along those lines. I mean, Severino hasn't thrown it real well for a couple of starts, but at 14 and 4, you're going to ride him until you can't ride him any longer.
And you figure he'd be the guy to throw the wild card game again.
Yep, he would be.
Okada in the massive shift. Duda hit right into the teeth of it last time.
Last time he cut the ball right in on the hands of Duda, and he got that ground ball to second base. Anything off speed Duda's going to roll over it and ground it to the right side.
Two and oh. Up and out, 3 balls and no strikes.
And you would think Ned Yost would give Duda the 3-0 green light.
Yeah, big power bat in the middle of the order. If anybody's going to drive in the runs, you'd imagine he'd want it to be him. That's a strike. We have seen the shift get beaten earlier tonight. Duda actually hits it more to the left side than Gordon did when he beat the shift for the first hit of the game for Kansas City. You know, you'd think that getting ready defensively would be fairly easy in Major League Baseball nowadays, but because you have the cards in your pocket, but there really are not lines of demarcation on the field like a boundary corner in football or something like that, or the 3-point line in basketball. There's out in the grass, you're kind of guessing one step this way or that.
Oh, absolutely, but you get a feeling for exactly where a guy's going to hit the ball, assuming all things are being equal.
2 on, 2 out on the walk of Duda, and Herrera will come up to bat left-handed again. Cleveland's taking a 3-1 lead on Minnesota. That's in the bottom of the 5th at Target Field.
If there is any race, Cleveland can put an end to that with this particular series. They got Bauer going to the mound, and he's given up just 1 hit into the bottom of the 5th inning. Trevor Bauer having a great year. ZRA in the 2.3s coming in.
Moncada on the hunt for the final out. Herrera grounds out, and Shields through some traffic in the 6th. Still 2-0 Sox trail. Today.
I mean, certainly the things I think of when I think of Jim is just his work ethic. You know, when he got here, he was already in his mid-30s, but I mean, he was just such a hard worker. You know, early, first one in, last one to leave, always, you know, just always grinding away, always working. and just being on deck a lot. I hit behind him a lot, so I got to see it up close. I always loved hitting behind him because it gave me like 10 minutes to get loose because every count was 3-2 with like 4 foul balls, and it was like a 9-pitch at bat. So I used to like that part of it. It gave me a lot of time to get loose.
Paulie also said after that there was one game where Jim hit a ball so hard it actually scared him on deck. Konerko was standing on deck and he kind of shuddered because the ball just got hit so hard off his bat. But Jim told me, great speech. Watching his daughter sing the national anthem was outstanding over the weekend, and every bit of that just makes you smile.
Yeah, it was couldn't happen to a better guy, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And I had no doubt that the speech was going to be very much heartfelt and well delivered by Big Jim.
He has had, since that happened, he has had such an understanding of the gravity of what he was doing. We were talking just a little bit in spring training as he was thinking already back then about what the speech was going to be like. And he wanted to make sure that he included everybody that was important and wanted to make sure that he was doing the right thing by the game of baseball and the way he was delivering it. And he cares so much about everything around him, just the world around him, the community he grew up in. He's the type of person you want to strive to be.
No, he actually did just about everything you'd want a professional player to do and be exactly what you want a professional player to be. That's why it was so great to see him going and making this speech and being afforded all of the honors that the major league player can get. The Hall of Fame is it. That's the pinnacle, and nobody deserves it more than Jim Thome.
Oh, I think what also speaks to the greatness that he became is that every team he's attached to wants him around. Everybody wants him there for something, for some celebration, to be a part of the organization as he is here with the White Sox. Everybody wants him around.
Well, that's why it's so great that he actually is here and will be here. I have no doubt that he helps Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams with their evaluation of young hitters, talking to him about what he can see, how he can help them. And he's an asset to any organization he would be with, and fortunately it's here.
Adam Engel has hit Duffy well, and now a ball and a strike as Duffy may not be long for this ball game because the bullpen is up and moving. Hill and McCarthy.
We're getting close to the 100 pitch mark, as Duffy is.
We have historically tried to keep McCarthy away from the hill.
Yeah.
After that turned south. Ball and 2 strikes on Engel. In the air, left field side. Gordon is underneath. Time now to quiz Steve on his own career. It's Sticks and Stone, brought to you by your local Volkswagen dealer or VWDealer.com. During the 75 season, you made 32 starts and 1 relief appearance. Who was the 1 inning of relief against?
I don't know, but it'd have to be terrible.
Your confidence is overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, it was so bad out of the pen. I don't even remember that one. I know I didn't get a save.
Kids, that's what we call repression.
Yeah, I can't remember even the great moments. So what teams were there?
It was
The Dodgers
Expos, and Mets.
Okay, well, let's see. 32 starts, 1 relief appearance.
Yep.
I'll go with the Expos.
Where are you going with them? Washington?
No, well, eventually, yes. But at that point, no.
Yolmer swung, 2 strikes on Sanchez. Do you have any feeling that it was Montreal, or is that just
No,
a total
that was
guess?
a total guess. I have no idea.
One and 2 on on Sanchez. Moncada at first, 1 down, 6th inning. Right field, Bonifacio charging, and he crosses the line with the catch for out number 2. Here is your answer to Sticks and Stone, brought to you by Volkswagen. And it is the Dodgers. It was a suspended game. Suspended bottom of the 8th. You came in and through the 9th.
So you got me on a technicality, a suspended game, huh?
No, it wasn't a technicality. You pitched.
I did.
Yeah.
Just 1 inning?
It was just 1 inning, 2 hits. You got a strikeout of Tom Paciorek.
So I scattered 2 hits.
You did.
Oh, that's nice.
Davey Lopes singled. Jim Wynn singled. Steve Garvey fouled out.
Yeah, I always get him out.
Yeah, Wimpy struck out. Looking.
Yeah.
He froze him.
He did.
Yeah. And then Willie Crawford grounded out.
Ah, well, there you go. A successful inning, scattering 2 hits.
Did you taunt Wimpy about that on Sunday?
I told him he was 4 for 21 against me. He didn't think he did that well.
Really?
Yeah.
Moncada at first. Narvaez, the tying run right now. And Duffy sends in a breaking ball, 1-2. Well, Danny Duffy has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning in this game, but he's a strike away from 6 clean.
You would think this would be the last inning that he would work. Pitch number 109 on the way.
Yeah, the base path has been an active taxiway.
He's been able to work himself out of some pretty good jams.
Moncada, a walk to start the inning. 2-2. That's outside, full count. Tim Anderson, the way he's hit the ball against Duffy tonight, you would imagine Duffy will not see him again, no matter what.
Well, he's been up 3 times. He's hit the ball very hard 3 times. 1 for 3 to show for it. And with the bases loaded, lining out to center field. And a good play by Phillips.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 4. 2 walks in the inning for Danny Duffy, who has walked more this year than he typically does, and that's going to be the end of the line for him. You see the walks per 9 growing from 2014 after a bumpy 2013, and it's a walk that will send him away from this 6th inning. So Duffy will exit, and to the bullpen they go. McCarthy, the right-hander, was warming up. Anderson will come up with 2 on and 2 out when we return.
McCarthy. On for the 39th time. His ERA about 3.5, 4-3 record. You look at the rest of the numbers, they're pretty good. And he's got to deal with Tim Anderson. Tim's last at bat turns into StatCast powered by AWS. It's a curveball down, he smokes it. And a good catch by Phillips. Catch probability 100%, although it was 65 when he started after the ball.
Fun with StatCast with Steve Stone.
That's it.
So Tim now with a major chance in this game. 2 walks expel Duffy from this game. And McCarthy, who's mostly fastball changeup, faces Anderson. He will mix in a slider every once and again. Born in Rockville Center, went to Marist, a New Yorker through and through. McCarthy. To third base, and Herrera says he made the play on the catch and safe.
Well, you got to get him to first base, which they will eventually, and he's going to be out there.
And that is all. Tim was standing at the plate. The Royals do get the out eventually. And that is all she wrote for the Sox in this 6th inning. To the 7th we go, 2-0 Kansas City. Out. We thought it was out number 3 on the line. Herrera. Close play. That actually is a catch.
Actually, it is out. It is out number 3. Now
Yeah.
the umpire didn't call it. Ricky is very unhappy. Tim didn't run, and he was taken out of the ball game.
In the air, first base side. Abreu. Now we've seen that before as Delmonico is into left field. As the Sox go ahead and make the defensive adjustment, Delmonico into left. Leori Garcia will play shortstop. If you want your batters to run, it doesn't matter what the result is called accurately or not. You can make the argument. However, in this case, you could also argue, if you're Tim, that that was actually an out.
Well, I mean, I think Tim saw that it was lined right into his glove and just thought that the play was over. So that's what happened.
Ground ball foul, 1-1 on O'Hearn. Ricky Renteria says he's not going to stand for not running out the play, and it could have eventually been a runner over at first, but you'd imagine the umpires would have talked it over as well and may have come up together with that out. You never know.
You never know.
Two and one. O'Hearn with his very first major league hit. It was a home run that provided the only offense in this game.
If you thought for a moment that the Mets were going to mount a comeback, they're losing 24-1 right now.
Oh, it's 24 now?
Yeah, 25 hits, 24 runs, still in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's upstairs, ball 4.
Here's our 4th drive, and this is the only scoring of the game. Off O'Hearn's bat, first major league home run. And not much of an exit velocity, but it certainly was effective. Visit your local Ford store, buyfordnow.com.
Sam Houston State, former 8th round pick who had a couple of impressive spring training home runs this year, finally got his chance in this game and has given the Royals the lead. That ball's hit well by Phillips. And Kansas City using the long ball tonight. The former Brewer farmhand with a 2-run shot. For Phillips, just his 5th home run in the majors, his first as a Royal.
Looked like a short breaking slider down, and Phillips did not allow it to get down and in. He took it out of the ballpark.
Mondesi takes a strike. Still 8 to go to 100 for James Shields tonight in the pitch count. A couple of home runs right after walks have been the 4 runs for Kansas City. Now number 2 to the new shortstop Garcia. I'd like to send our condolences to the family of Matt Switsky, who was 40 years old, just passed away after a 2-year battle with cancer. Huge baseball fan out of Loyola Academy, and our condolences to Matt and his family after what he had gone through and his passing just recently. Ball 1 from Shields to Merrifield, who's 0 for 3. Now Shields showing a little frustration. foul away. 2-1 on Merrifield. Sox in the 7th will bring up Garcia, Abreu, and Garcia. Now 3-1. Last day of July 2018, Sox are trailing Kansas City in this series opener. Game 2 tomorrow, 7:10 start time. Up the middle, base hit for Merrifield. Live on the phone, Don Cooper, Kurt Hassler.
He gave him the name. Kurt gets him up. That's how this works.
That's how the sausage is made.
That's it.
No more drama than a live bullpen phone call, we always say. Gordon's had a couple really nice at bats tonight. He's 2 for 3. The Nationals at 25-1 tonight, as you talked about. They had gone dormant for the 6th and 7th.
Yeah, and then they came back.
6 runs in the 8th. Those 6 runs came off of Matt Davidson wannabe Jose Reyes.
See, that's what happens if you don't have the experience. Luis Avilan throwing in the pen.
Reyes' ERA now at 54.
Can only come down.
Swing and a miss, throw down to second is not in time. Merrifield takes second base.
Merrifield swiping his 23rd bag. 23-5.
One and one for Gordon from Shields. James trying to get the Sox into the 7th inning finish line once again. In one of his starts this season, he has been good for the bullpen for the most part. 7 games of 7 innings or more for Shields. He's been in a standoff with his control tonight, a little bit more than we've seen in recent games.
Just a couple of walks, so it hasn't been all that bad, but he has started to get behind late.
2-1. Now 2-2. Merrifield at second base, 2-2 on Gordon. Shields tonight, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, couple of home runs. The only runs in this game. 2-2. Slow breaking ball at 68. At the stretch at Guaranteed Rate Field, Sox have some climbing.
And then it's on to Tampa Bay for a 3-game series, the first of which is the Friday you're looking at. A Ram upcoming schedule.
3 in Tampa very quickly, then back home to face the Yankees and the Indians for a loaded homestand.
Yeah, it will be an entertaining homestand. The Yankees don't have Judge. Sanchez out for the moment. Don't know when he's coming back. Judge will not be back. They've got some new faces to look at, however.
Yeah, you'd still swing it. Although Kansas City gave them everything they wanted in that weekend series.
They lost 3 or 4, but they played them really tough.
Yep. Could have easily swept that Saturday doubleheader.
Yep.
It's Garcia, Abreu, Garcia coming up. Moyori first, Avi third, Jose in the middle. Foul at first. Pick your fan.
There you go. That's very nice. She's ecstatic.
She'll share.
Maybe.
Unless that's just a random person she doesn't know that was standing right next to her. Looks like they know each other. Or he's just really waiting to see if he can come up with that ball. Herrera throws out Garcia. And 1 down. MLB at Bat, your #1 White Sox app. Catch every moment this season. Get White Sox home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Why don't you have it yet? We've been telling you all season long. Just download it.
It's really a great app. And just so you know,
yeah,
Mickey's boys don't quit either, because the Mets now losing 25-4. They're coming back in the ninth.
Yeah. They're on their way against Wander Suero, I think, was the one throwing. Oh, Suero through the 8th. It was Kelly for the Nationals in the 9th. Sean Kelly throwing for Washington, trying to grab a win and find its way to 500 once again.
Looks like they'll do it in a big way tonight.
Philly, though, is leading in Boston. That ball's tagged to left center field. Abreu is on his way to double number 30.
Time now for the IDOT Safe Play. IDOT reminding you that safe driving habits really are a matter of life and death. Visit lifeordeathillinois.com as Jose hits one right up the gap and coasts into second base. 111 miles an hour on the exit velocity, so well hit.
That brings up Avi. In Major League Baseball last year, when you hit the ball 111 miles an hour, your batting average was 736. So that's why exit velocity matters. It's not just fun to say that awesome thing you saw was actually awesome. We promise you. It shows that if you're hitting the ball hard, you're very likely to get yourself a hit. 21% of balls hit 111 miles an hour are home runs.
And Selby Perez trying to shake this off. It got him off the shin guard, and he took a walk. Ted Barrett is allowing him as much time, and the Royal bullpen is ready just in case. Tim Hill, the left-hander, standing around.
Nothing more dramatic than a bullpen phone call, except a guy standing around.
Yeah, that can happen.
Broken bat, right field line. Bonifacio watches it bounce foul. Kansas City got 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, and that's your run scoring so far tonight. Sox trying to make it a second late comeback in this homestand. O'Hearn, 25-year-old rookie in his first major league game with a 2-run homer in the 5th, and Brett Phillips with his first Royals home run in the 7th. Phillips has said that he had gotten to be known for his laugh in Milwaukee. He has one of the most distinctive laughs that you'll hear, and he had gotten known for his laugh, and he said that's what he's gotten a rap for. He's the laugh guy, and now he's got his first home run, so maybe he can shake that rap here in Kansas City. Throw to second, safe. Jose gets back. Merrifield a little bit late.
I think Merrifield caught that one and got a piece of his hand in there, perhaps. Pretty close play at second base. Well-timed, good throw. Jose is in.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
I was kind of not sure.
Yeah, easy.
Check swing. Avi did go.
Tried to check it up, but Will Little said nope. He went around.
This day in history around Major League Baseball, Ty Cobb, 535 in July, 68 hits in 1912. Dick Allen, a couple of inside the park home runs. Bert Blyleven remembers that very well. 1990, the 300th win for Nolan Ryan, and Jose Contreras comes over. He did very well for himself here.
Yes, he did.
2005 was important to this team.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday. He was out at the golf tournament. Everybody had a wonderful time at Beverly Country Club. It was a field of greens and very successful event. Raised over $100,000. Very nice.
Davidson is at 1-1 with Abreu at second. Sox trying to get into the run column for the first time tonight. Jose Make sure that knee's okay. One. That's hit well to left field. Gordon's back. Davidson continues to torture the Royals. A 2-run shot and the lead's cut in half.
They've been keeping the ball up on Matt Davidson all night, but McCarthy got that one down, and Matt hit a line drive rocket out of the ballpark. His 16th home run, he's driven in 42. He's 2 for 3 tonight, and that is going to drive McCarthy from the mound. So things get a little more interesting here as this thigh-high fastball taken out of the yard.
And with that home run, another generous donation from the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. Matt Davidson with the 2-run homer to draw the Sox closer. It was 1 year ago yesterday. Matt Davidson hit his first walk-off home run in his major league career, and here's his memory of that moment.
Davidson drills it. Left center field. No matter where it lands, it's over. It's gone.
Yeah, that was my first walk-off in the big leagues. I just remember I hit it, and I was just trying to drive the guy in because I think we lost 11, 12 in a row too before that, so we hadn't won in a long time, and so we just went crazy. So one really cool memory. I'll always remember that, and it's just fun to win games for the team. So that was the Gatorade bath. That picture of the Brayu throwing Gatorade. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
What a chase. That was the prelude to the spray bottle from this season for Abreu with the Gatorade chase, and Matt Davidson creating some new memories as the celebration of punching your teammate continues to run rampant in baseball. When he squares a ball up, look out. Kansas City knows it.
And Kansas City has seen a whole lot of him, and we got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. And it is Tim Hill on for the 46th time. His ERA above 5.5. You look at some pretty high numbers. And he's got a 2-run lead as the Sox have cut into that lead here with a 2-run homer off the bat of Matt Davidson.
Suddenly at 4-2, a bullpen that has been gettable teeters with Moncada coming up. Ball 1. There's a strike, 1-1. First one looked closer than the second one. The count finishes where it should, according to our pitch cast presented by Meyer. You're going to be here to get your adult onesie in September?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that for a minute. Onesie of what?
You keep watching those podcasts, okay?
That was a pretty good pitch, and he didn't get it.
It's tough. I think Ted Barrett's having a tough time seeing it, and the way Hill throws, it's not easy to watch that thing come out of his hand.
Nope. But he missed one.
2-2. Oh, now he started walking off, and it's 3-2. Well, Moncada, who has been rather unfortunate on 2 strikes this year, has caught a couple of breaks in this go-around. So McCarthy goes 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and a strikeout. 3-2. On the ground, gonna have to hurry. Mondesi. Oh, a laser. Neatly done by Mondesi to close the 7th.
Facet talks about hit Kansas City 8-5. They trail 4-2 as Avilan comes on for the 48th time. He's 2-0. His ERA at 3.90.
So Matt Davidson, the 2-run home run to draw the Sox closer. And you said, Steve, if you pitch Matt Davidson up in the zone, you're in good shape. But here's where the homer is. It's middle in, and that's where he's torched the Royals this year.
Yeah, anything thigh high or lower, he's going to get a good shot at it, and this was no exception as it went out of the ballpark. 16 home runs, 42 driven in. 2 for 3 tonight. He loves the Royals.
His personal Garden of Eden comes from Jackson County, Missouri.
Boy, regardless of what they're throwing, Matt's hitting it.
Mentioned that the Mets had fallen in a close one today, 25-4. Anthony DeComo, the beat writer for MLB.com, covering the Mets. Part of his tweet that he sent out after the game, the final, Nationals 25, Mets 4. The GOAT of the game, he says, Abner Doubleday for inventing baseball. Problem is, it's actually not old Abner who invented the game.
Okay.
Right? That's been dispelled, hasn't it?
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah. Still a funny tweet.
Absolutely.
Strike 3, Avilan on Perez, who struck out 3 straight times. Fans experience Levy Restaurant's fine dining at Guaranteed Rate Field, the Huntington Bank Stadium Club. Memberships are available to season ticket holders and also perfect for weddings and corporate parties. For more information regarding the Huntington Bank Stadium Club, please call 312-674-1000. One down, Lucas Duda. Wind's starting to pick up here.
It is a little bit. It was blowing toward the right field corner. Now it's pretty much blowing straight in.
Ball and a strike. Avilan to Duda. There you see the flag's blowing in now.
Not going to affect it too much, but what little wind there is blowing straight in over the center field wall.
Adam Engel patrolling center for round number 2. Avilan doing fine here in the 8th. However, Jenmar Gomez and Jace Fry are getting tuned up.
Just in case.
More 9th inning contingency plans, as well as the Sox in the home 8th will bring up Engel, Sanchez, and Narvaez.
Royals pen up and going. It's Jason Hamill, who was brought in as a starter but has found his way to the Kansas City pen.
That's a base hit. So the Royals have some life on the Herrera single here in the 8th.
Turned around, hit from the right side, and it turned into gold for him.
Jorge Bonifacio, brother of Emilio. It's quite the medallion he's got around his neck.
It'll keep him weighted down if the wind picks up.
I think he's done that well enough for himself in the weight room. It's got his initials on it. JB on the other side. Our goal there actually was just to hypnotize you.
Just in case?
Swaying.
Yeah, was good.
Back and forth. You're getting sleepy.
Ooh.
You're getting very
Yes.
sleepy.
Sleepier than normal.
That's the pen. What does that mean? Another throw to first.
Herrera with a pretty good lead over there.
There's a strike. He wasn't going anywhere, at least that time. We need to get you one of those medallions with your initials on it. Look good. A little piece of bling for you.
I have a very small one. No initials.
Small piece of bling.
Not so blingy.
Piece of flair.
Oh, see, it's a little guy. That's all it is.
Doesn't have your initials on it.
Got nothing. Just a nice little.
A thing.
Yeah, a thing.
Yeah. It's medallion night at the ballpark.
This is it. Swinging medallions. They did what? One hit song. There you go.
That's it?
You got it.
What song?
Can't tell you.
You can't?
Nope.
I'd call that a tease, but I don't know that you're ever going to tell us. So the bad business. 1-2 is in the dirt, and there goes Herrera. He's into second base. I think that'll be a wild pitch. He wasn't off until the ball hit the dirt, though he did have a nice lead.
We'll take another look at it. And that will be a wild pitch.
2-2. Maybe the medallion keeps him from striking out.
Well, it hasn't fanned tonight. Could very well be that it's working. He's got some big power.
Yes, he does.
This guy can hit the ball a long way.
Age 25, they have some high hopes for him.
Yep. He's one of the guys that they believe has a shot. Along with Mondesi, they really like him at shortstop.
2-2. Off the plate. Three and two, Avilan to Bonifacio. Herrera at second. Payoff. Fouled away. The Diamondbacks are up on the Rangers 2-0, and the good news is the lights are on at that ball game. Yesterday, power went out briefly in Arizona, and reporter from ESPN Pedro Gomez tweeted, "Rangers and D-backs delayed in downtown Phoenix because a baboon went through town and overloaded the grid, knocking some lights out."
So he probably didn't mean baboon.
He did not. He meant haboob, the weather phenomenon, which we're so fond of. But it works with baboon as well. Line foul, left side. Autocorrect, one of the perils of 2018.
Yeah, it is, and that lady has a thigh burger for her efforts. She appears to be okay. The ball girl did not make the grab.
Can you get a thigh burger in the Crab Cave?
Not too often, no.
Not available? I'm okay, she says.
Yep, I'm going to be just fine.
A little more embarrassed, maybe.
As soon as this hole in my thigh heals up, I'm going to be just fine.
Three and two on Bonifacio. Herrera at second with a good lead. And Bonifacio strikes out. Guess it wasn't to protect him from strike three. Avilan gets rid of him, and she gets a souvenir in a couple ways.
And it's, well, kind of this one.
Oof.
The ball girl misses it. The lady sitting there doesn't. She gets a thigh burger for her efforts and the baseball, however. That probably will leave a mark.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
She's going to be okay. As soon as the transfusion comes in, she's going to be fine. When you think of garages, think Danley. See tagline.
Has anybody ever been happier to be hit by a souvenir?
No, probably not. As Jason Hamill comes in the ball game, 24th time, 2-11, ERA of 6.
Did you just say C tagline?
Yeah.
Engel takes a ball.
Got to get that in.
Yeah, it's sinking. New third baseman for Kansas City. See graphic. It's Escobar.
He actually played pretty well at third for a guy who's a lifetime shortstop.
Right side, base hit. Adams 2 for 4. Daniel Palka is on the bench, by the way, for the possible power need in reserve.
Waist-high fastball taken to right field. And a promising way to start the 8th.
He let that get pretty deep.
Well, an outside fastball and had a good shot at it. 2 for 4 tonight.
Yolmer's been on twice. Go to first, he's back. Jason Hamill, who's been in the majors since 2006, his second season with Kansas City. A lot of base runners this year. 1.6 on the walks and hits per inning.
Liable to have a 6-point ERA by doing that.
Oh, you're going to find the ERA stratosphere by 2 runners an inning. Nearly 12 hits per 9. For just the second time in his career, dating all the way back to his rookie year for the first one. He does get a swing and miss on Sanchez. Hamill ready on 1-1. Engel's going. He had a big lead, and he is safe at second base.
That was on Hamill all the way. There was no chance at all for Salvi. Adam Engel steals it easily, and he's in scoring position with nobody out. That's 12. 12 out of 15 for Adam.
That's as simple of a stolen base as you're going to see. Off the plate high, 3-1 on Sanchez. You're playing this inning for at least 1, but you definitely take the big inning. Three and 1 from Hamill. That's just there, 3-2. That clung to the zone, wanted to waver and wouldn't. Three balls, 2 strikes. That was ball 4. Sanchez whisked it away foul. Engel at second base. 3-2. Ripped to right field. Engel will only get to third. Runners at the corners, and nobody out in the eighth. Adam had to wait as the ball got through.
Good piece of base running because there's nobody out. No sense getting adventuresome, and he held up. This is a fastball right down the middle, and Yolmer 2 for 3 tonight.
After you got him to swing at a ball in the dirt, why not go right back there?
Well, hasn't been Jason's year.
Yolmer will take it. Noah will take it as well. The signal for his son. And Narvaez swinging a menacing bat right now. He takes ball number 1. Rally man is here. Hamill a glance at first, and Sanchez in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes.
Selby saved one there. That could have easily gotten away. It didn't. The Royals pen up and going. Willie Peralta.
Two and 0. That was very hittable. 2 balls and a strike. Two 1. There's a strike. Upward, reaches to the zone. 2 and 2.
Yolmer started to take off, then thought better of it. Went back. Hamill does have a high leg kick. When he's not using a slide step, he's real easy to run against.
Engel stole one earlier in the inning. 2 and 2 for Omar. Throw on Sanchez. Nicky Delmonico is next. He's in for Tim Anderson, who was pulled from the game for not running out a line drive to third. Would be Nicky's first at bat of the game in what looks like it'll be a key spot. Two balls, 2 strikes. Check swing, he went around. Strike 3.
That's the best pitch that Hamill has thrown, that hard slider down and in. And he got him, could not check it up.
So Tim Anderson, this would be his spot. He now is relegated to watching Nicky Delmonico. Anderson pulled for not running out a ball in play. That was back in the 6th inning. He was eventually thrown out on what looked like a catch by the third baseman at the time, Herrera. Nicky has started to hit the ball very hard recently. Last we saw him a couple of days ago, he hit a home run in the 7th inning on Saturday. Ball and no strikes. His eyes lit up, and it's 1-1.
That was a slider that caught the whole plate.
Two hits, then the strikeout. One and one. Sanchez draws another throw. One ball, one strike. Blooped foul, third base side, and caught. Escobar running into the railing makes out number 2 happen.
And he looked like he hurt himself. Yolmer was starting to edge off first base because after he caught it, he can certainly advance. He's not used to being that close to the dugout. Not from the shortstop position. Looked like might have caught his foot under the fence.
Well, Escobar came in as a replacement for Herrera to play defense late in the game, and he does get the out. They only have Dozier and Butera on the bench. Nobody who's really an infielder that they'd want to have at third in a key spot. So Escobar is going to stay in. It's up to Garcia. Two singles, a strikeout, a foul pop out in the inning. Engel still at third, Sanchez at first.
Leary loves the first pitch. That time he got one. Very hittable, fouled it straight back. This is his opportunity. Has not had one out of the infield yet.
A couple of strikeouts, a pop out to first and a grounder to third. Late choice, 0-2.
That one well up and out of the zone, and Leary could not check it up. Well, if he goes to that hard slider, this one, or one like it, could certainly get away.
Oh, and 2. There it was, and Garcia just touches up.
Able to just barely stay alive as he's trying to bury it down and in.
Oh, and 2. That's fouled off of.
That got his bicep.
Yep.
He's a big catcher and he gets hit a lot. We'll take another look at it. He wants a high fastball, doesn't get it there, but takes it right off the arm instead.
He's all right as long as he's not moving luggage.
That's true.
Another throw to first. Hamill just can't quit Sanchez. Oh, 2. Downstairs, Sanchez runs, and he's in there to second base. So now suddenly, with a hit, the Sox could tie the game.
You would think that would go as a wild pitch because Yolmer was not running until that ball was in the dirt. It was a good stop by Perez, but he could not corral the baseball. It is a wild pitch. First wild pitch of the year for Hamill. Selby does a nice job, but a good piece of base running. Yolmer sees it and doesn't hesitate. He takes off.
But that will do it. Garcia goes down, and the inning comes to a close. 4-2 Kansas City.
White Sox debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank.
Are they member FDIC?
Member FDIC. You bet they are. Jace Fry comes into the ball game on for the 36th time. 0-2 ERA of 4.5.
Some of that came on Sunday in a rare, at least so far in his career, save opportunity.
Yeah.
Toronto made life tough on him. And Fry trying to get back on the horse tonight, and the first opportunity to do so. Ryan O'Hearn and Brett Phillips, the back-to-back hitters he'll see who are left-handed, have drummed up the only offense tonight for Kansas City. Sox are up 7-3 in the season series this year. 5-2 at Kauffman Stadium, the record. That game tomorrow, 7:10 p.m. NBC Sports Chicago is where you can find us. Hope to see you there or at the ballpark. There's a strike right to the corner, 3-2 on O'Hearn. Cleveland has added a run in the top of the ninth. The Indians trying to beat the Twins to expand their divisional lead. Strike 3, paint job. 1 down.
Ted Barrett on the call. It's a fastball. Good enough. And the pen up and going. Genmar Gomez joined Hector Santiago just in case.
You wonder if Fry will face Phillips and then Mondesi would get Gomez. We'll see. Oh, and 2. Fry wipes him away. Jace Fry with back-to-back punch-outs in the 9th.
It's a good way to come back from giving up that home run against the Blue Jays. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts.
It's Teoscar Hernandez who had the home run. Then he hit Morales. Diaz a double, Fry left, and a couple more scored that were his runners on Gomez's watch. The Blue Jays won that finale 7-4 on Sunday. One strike to Mondesi. Now 0-2. The Sox in the 9th inning will have Abreu, Garcia, and Davidson coming up.
It should be able to get the job done.
12 pitches, 9 strikes for Jace Fry, and that's how you strike out the side. Bottom 9, 2-run game.
And Matt gets one to his liking. 104.6 exit velocity, a line drive, a 21-degree launch angle, and that is his 16th. Driving in runs 41 and 2. Willie Peralta comes in the ball game. He's on for the 15th time. He's thrown it very well, 338. He's 5 for 5 in save opportunities. This is one of those. Opponent's hitting just 213. That's good. Control has not been good, and hopefully, if the boys are a little patient, he will walk somebody.
He'll face Abreu, Garcia, and Davidson scheduled. Daniel Palka is on the bench, Kevin Smith as well. Peralta to Abreu. Ball 1. 2 for 4 tonight for Jose, including his 30th double. Off the plate, he swung through it 1-1. Peralta, last we saw him, his ERA was at 104, but then his next outing, right after the break, Minnesota got him for 3 runs on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning, so his ERA went up to 3.86. That's upstairs, 2-1. That's off the plate, a breaking ball, 3-1.
Well, this has been the biggest problem, is getting the ball over the plate.
9 walks in 13 1/3. Avi next. That's ball 4. The tying run's coming up. Davidson started out of the dugout to go on deck, and he was pulled back down the stairs, so Daniel Polka has grabbed a bat.
There he is. He's done quite a job off the bench this year.
Avi. 0-1. Kansas City got a 2-run homer in the 5th and 1 more in the 7th. Sox with 2 in the 7th on the Davidson home run. Breaking ball is in for a strike.
Juan Minaya loosening in the pen.
Oh, 2 on the ground wide of 3rd. Avi singled in the 5th, grounded out in the 1st, lined out in the 3rd, struck out in the 7th. No balls, 2 strikes. Peralta to Garcia. Foul first base side, and this will find the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. To second base, Merrifield, Mondesi, double play. So Polka will hit.
This little squibber off the end of the bat and controlled by Merrifield. Mondesi's got a very strong arm.
We saw it earlier for Mondesi a couple of innings ago on the ball hit by Moncada.
And he's got a rocket for an arm. Doesn't show it too often, but he's got it.
So Polka pinch hits for Davidson, who's provided the 2-run homer tonight. One and one. Jacob Junis, Dylan Covey, your pitching matchup tomorrow. That's a 7:10 start time.
Junis was a guy that bounced one off of Judge's hand and broke it.
2-1. Well, the Sox are down to their final strike tonight. All the runs on homers in this game, specifically 2-run homers. Peralta delivers 2-2. Palka smashes it foul right side. One last kernel of popcorn left in the stand.
That was a slider that didn't do much, and Daniel got a good piece of it, but yanked it foul.
Another foul ball, still 2-2. Out of Georgia Tech, Daniel Palka in his rookie season has provided some big thunder. He takes ball 3. Moncada next. He'd bat left-handed against the righty Peralta. Three and 2. Ball 4. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, he caught a break there, too. Ned Yost can't believe it. Kel Eldred can't believe it. But believe it. It was called ball 4.
Leaving it to Yoan Moncada, who's the tying run suddenly. Peralta to Moncada for strike 1. See if Yoan has a moment in him tonight. In the air left field. And not caught. Escobar had a shot at it, leaning into the tarp, and he couldn't make the play. That's the tarp area where Moustakas and Gordon collided a couple of years ago.
He checks and sees where he is. He knows he's got a shot at this one, but it goes as no play as this one just barely off the glove, and the game stays alive.
No balls, 2 strikes. Moncada swings through strike 3. Tag is down, and the game comes to an end. Kansas City gets a victory in game number 1, 4-2, thanks to a couple of home runs. So with that, we'll step aside. The Royals get the victory. Sox will try to even the series tomorrow.